Okay, my name is Ahmed. I'm one of the program managers at Go Green. I welcome you here. Thank you for taking the time out to talk to the young kids today,
No
and we
problem.
can we can get started off right now. Okay, so hi everyone. Good morning. Today is the last day of our summer camp, and as we said that we're gonna end it off with one of the big speakers. So here is Isabel Joyce. She is one of the ex-cricketers of Ireland women's team. She's an ex-captain as well. She has have a very decorated career over the years, and have one more thing is that she played the first ever Test match for women for Ireland as well, way before the men's team played their first Test match as well. She was a part of that team, and Ed Joyce was the coach of that, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he's the coach. He's the current coach. He wasn't coach then.
Oh, he wasn't coach then. My bad. Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, he's a current coach. My bad. Okay. And he is the brother of Isabel. So they have a very decorated family as well involved in cricket. So I will let Melvin again introduce you again, and then we can start off with the questions right away.
Hi, Isabel. This is Melvin.
Hi,
I know
Melvin.
we've spoken, not spoken, but been in touch, trying to arrange your trip to Canada. And this is one of the groups that I was trying to get you to come down to Canada for. So I thought it's a good idea to introduce you now. We've never met most of the players that we've gone online during the summer, people I've known like Mudassar, Madan, and Sanamir, your friend. Sanamir is a good family friend of ours too.
Oh,
And I know she knows you well and holds you in very high respect as well. And I want to thank you seriously for taking the time out today. I know you're very busy. I can realize by your schedule. And I'd initially spoken to Andy Pick from England. I don't know if you remember, he used to be the coach for England and Canada. And he had suggested either you or Jenny Gunn. And I'm glad we contacted you, and we are very, very honored to have you on today. So the kids are going to go ahead and ask you questions. And before I go, we're looking forward when COVID is over to see you in Canada. Thank you.
For sure.
thanks very much.
Okay, we can start off right away with the questions, hard-hitting questions from the kids. So yeah, you can go ahead with the first one.
Hi, my name is Ab, and I have a question for you. My question is, how did you encourage women and other people to play cricket?
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
I have a question, and my question is, how did you encourage women and other people to play cricket?
I do it through various means. One of the things is to just go into schools and get them to try out fielding is usually the easiest way to get girls into cricket. They really like fielding games because they can all take part. And it's not as pressurized as the batting and bowling part either. So that's one of the ways that we get them into it. We also encourage them to come and watch and socialize. So it's a really social sport in Ireland. So we invite them down and show them that they can watch a sport while chatting, and it's kind of usually, hopefully, sunny. And yeah, so those are the main ways. Once they try it out, they realize that they quite like that they can take part while not having to be brilliant straight away. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you.
The next one is Hafiza. Hafiza, you can go ahead. Hafiza. Okay, we can just move on to Hanishram. Hanishram.
Yes, my question was, how were you inspired to cricket?
As in, how did I get into it? Kind of, is that?
Yeah. So how did you
Yeah.
get inspired to play
How did I
cricket?
get into it?
Yep.
Well, I do have a brother, Ed, but I also have 4 other brothers and 3 other sisters. And I'm the youngest with my twin sister. So we had to play a lot together, as you can imagine, growing up. And we had a big back garden, and we used to play with our next door neighbours. We used to play cricket. And how we started it was my dad used to listen to it on the radio, on the BBC radio when he was growing up. His family was very poor. They didn't have anything pretty much. And unfortunately his dad died when he was 5. So, his role models were those guys on the radio. And he always dreamed of playing when he grew up. So he got us into it, and we used to play in the back garden. And my brothers used to coach me how to bowl every single type of ball by the time I was 6. And it just went from there, really. We joined a club, and then one of the mums of one of my friends became our manager, and she just used to organize teams for us to play against. So that was really important for us. So really, we were really lucky with the people around us that they were willing to put in the time and effort to get girls cricket going, because there wasn't a team before we played.
Okay, thank you for that. Hanish Ram is the next one.
I did not ask a question, I guess.
Or you had a question now?
No.
Okay.
You didn't get to ask it.
Yesterday and today's one.
Okay. Iman, go ahead.
So my question is that what made you get experience to play cricket?
I played a lot with the boys as well as the girls, and the way it works over here is that the cricket clubs are always open. So we used to go down every single day and practice in the nets when we were old enough to go down by ourselves. So from kind of the age of 12 or 13 on, that was how I spent my summers, just down training in the ground, watching games and practicing my catching and my bowling mostly. And then getting to play sometimes 2 or 3 games in a day, because I'd be playing for the girls and the boys. So by the time I was about 15, I'd played thousands and thousands of hours.
Okay. I actually have a question for you as well. So as you come in from the associate family from the ICC, do you think that the ICC has done a lot for the associate countries? Because Ireland women's team especially has only played 1 test match back in 2000, and after that there was not much test cricket for any of the associate countries, to be honest.
It's a tough question to answer. They have a lot of work to do in general. I know the ICC. I do think that women's cricket needs more support in general, not just us. I think the countries that are doing the best in it are supported by their home boards rather than the ICC necessarily. So that's the ECB, the Cricket Australia are the 2 big ones. I mean, it's amazing to me that India are only kind of coming to the fore now. Incredible with the money that they have and the numbers of players that they have. So I think that kind of shows that the interest is in the men's game, where I hope they can see the kind of prospect for women's cricket and where it can go. In Ireland, it's really kind of been down to the clubs to organise. So it's, if your club is willing to put in the time and effort, then you are the club that does well. So I think that probably answers the question, where it's not necessarily coming from the ICC.
It's not coming from the ICC.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is from Renee. Renee, you can go ahead.
My question is, when did you start playing cricket?
When did I start or stop?
Start.
When did you start playing cricket?
There's a photo of me and my twin sister. I think we were 3.
Oh, wow.
With a cricket bat. One of us is holding a cricket bat and one of us is holding a cricket ball. We're in summer dresses in our backyard. So I think that I mean, as long as I can remember, we were playing. It was just part of growing up. It was always on the television, and if cricket was on, you were not allowed to change the channel. So it just became kind of our thing.
Okay, Inaya is the next one.
Yeah, so my question is, what's your favorite hobby?
Oh, it's so tough because I have so many.
Instead of cricket.
Yeah, I love singing, and I love to dance. So I studied dancing until I was about 18, which helps your cricket, by the way. So if you like dancing, please keep it up. And I'm a qualified Zumba instructor. So I did ballet and modern till 18. So it has to be a tie between singing and dancing.
Perfect. We do have a singing and dancing program as well. So
Ah, good.
yeah. Next one is Yarti. Yarti, you can go ahead.
My question is that how did you feel when you played the first international game of cricket?
I felt very excited. I was at 15, so quite young, and I had to get an emergency passport so that I could fly to England to play the game because I hadn't been abroad ever before. So I got on my first flight to play a match and played against India. So it was also Mithali Raj's first game, and she scored 100. But yeah, I just loved every part of it. It didn't matter to me what the result was, and it wasn't good. But I just loved playing so much, and got presented my first cap by our president, by our Irish Women's Cricket Union president at the time, and I still have the photo. And it's just an honor.
All right. We're just gonna go with a couple of questions, last couple of questions for you, and then.
I'd like
Can we
to
make
say a
sure
few words on-
Hafiza gets to ask her question because she missed out at the start?
I know. Hopefully she remembers the question now. Support. You can go ahead and then.
Okay,
can ask
so if
Hafiza.
you weren't playing for Ireland, which cricket team would you want to play for?
If I wasn't playing for Ireland, well, I think at the moment the champions are Australia, so you have to want to play for them.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, Hafiza, we're back to you again.
I don't think her mic is working.
Yeah, her audio.
How about you ask her question for her?
Okay. Yeah. So her question was, how hard was it to play cricket as a woman?
Yeah, it was really hard. That's at times. So when I was 10, remember I said I played with the boys.
Mm-hmm.
My sister and I played with the boys team, and we were doing really well. And then we got to the semi-final, and one of the other clubs said that they wouldn't play if the girls were playing, which was really hard to take, and broke our little hearts. We wanted to play in our semi-final, so our team won that game, and we got to the final. And then that team said they wouldn't play if the girls were playing as well. And it was pretty much just because they didn't want us to play because we were doing well. It wasn't anything to do with us being girls. It was just they knew they could get away with it. And that was actually the team that Kevin O'Brien plays for. That won. Yeah, so it wasn't him. He was 10. But it was that club. But then the next year, over the winter, they brought in the rule that girls were allowed to play in that age level and the next age level up. So that made us feel a bit better. We got to play the next year, and we opened things up for other girls coming behind us. And I've played all the way up to men's first division in Ireland. So I was the first woman to do that, and that was very scary. But it's like anything. Once you've done it once, you can do it. And I like that I've shown other girls and women that they can do it. Not everyone wants to, but I actually, I think my husband and I are the first couple to play against each other and to play with each other, for first team men's cricket. So, I've played against Kevin O'Brien and John Mooney and George Dockrell and all those guys. So that was a really interesting experience, and you just have to pretend like it's not a big deal when it's really inside your heart is pounding.
If you guys don't know that Isabel's husband is John Anderson. He is also a Ireland cricket player, international cricket player. So yeah, she's surrounded by cricketers all the time again.
I had a quick question for Isabel, if I might chip in for
sure.
a second.
Go ahead.
We come from a family of 7 brothers and sisters also. My dad was known as Speed for his bowling. He was one of the fastest bowlers in his days. And we had a problem with cricket. Everybody wanted to bat, but nobody wanted to bowl or field in our family. Did you have that kind of problem too?
No, we were probably 50-50 bowlers and batters, but also there were just strict rules about, getting out and things like that, and turns, and I think myself and my sister started out as bowlers because you're never getting a bat when you're the youngest. But
Well,
no, it wasn't too bad. There weren't too many fights, but I do think that we kind of, I don't know if it's like this in your family, but we're kind of in little factions. So there's the top three brothers, there's the oldest sister and the middle sister, and then there's the bottom four. So the bottom four are myself, Cecilia, our brother Dominic, and then my brother Ed. So the four at the bottom, we used to play together a lot, and I'm pretty sure Ed practices batting more than the rest of us, and then he did become quite a decent batter.
Yeah.
But yeah, the three at the bottom were bowlers, so he was fine.
Yeah. So just a quick thing before we'll wind up in a few minutes, I'm sure. We have online with us Lisa Grogan Green, who supervises and directs the program as well, and has been very, very instrumental in getting this program started many years ago. I was one of the founding members of this program, but Ahmed and Tala, who are online today, and his group have been doing very well. And if you don't mind, we will be putting this on our website, our interview with you and with the kids for the world to see and to get them used to who you are. So when you come to Canada, everybody knows Isabel, because there's still a little lack of knowledge of cricket in Canada. I mean, there is a lot, but if you don't mind, we'll post that, and Lisa can wave and say hi to you.
Lisa, I can unmute you, I think. Lisa, go ahead.
Okay. Isabel, thank you so much for coming and speaking with us. It's even more special because I have some Irish roots, although I've never been to Ireland. I don't know whether the kids told you either that this is our last day. So you're literally our last sort of signature speaker. And we've had like an awesome 6-week camp. And I just wanted to tell everybody here, all of our coaches here and all of the participants, how proud I am and how much fun we've had. I've been able to watch some of it and see a lot of the photos being taken. And this virtual camp, it's like a kind of a land-breaking thing to have done during COVID. Imagine doing it from 10:30 a.m. till 4 every day. And they move from Zoom room to Zoom room. There's been a lot of activities. It really is incredible. Mm-hmm. So it's a great honor, Isabel, to have you as our sort of final speaker, particularly as a female cricketer, because we do our best to include girls, but it's been a struggle with the women's cricket. So we're happy, and you've actually inspired us. So thank you. And thank you to Melvin for arranging it.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay.
And I hope that some girls will find it a bit easier to say they like cricket, even though it might be perceived as something that's for boys. All sports are open to all girls, and you don't have to be one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Isabel. I think we can wrap up right now. I think thank you so much for taking out the time off your busy schedule. And we really do appreciate you coming out and talking to the kids. And a lot of the kids hopefully are inspired to play cricket now, and hopefully field, because fielding, it's really hard for them to convince to field, to be honest with you. They just want to bat. So hopefully when you visit to Canada next time, you can visit our field. We have a field with lights on it, and it's one of the first ones in Canada. So you can truly visit us over there and maybe work out with the kids and see how they really are, and maybe teach one of our staffs or all the staff Zumba.
Definitely, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Isabel.
Okay, thank you all so much, and best of luck, and well done on your camp. That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.